Long-serving Labour MP, former Deputy Labour leader and former Minister of Health and Minister of other things, is doing her valedictory. Let's go to it live.
It showed me the value of standing up and fighting for what you believe in and the value of belonging to a union. Now, 43 years on, I'm ashamed that we still don't have pay equity in New Zealand. Women have waited long enough. No more excuses, no more half-baked measures, no more litigation. It's time for us to once again lead on women's issues. Our country used to be a leader. There is so much more that we need to do. In 1981, I shifted to Wellington. I packed up my old Chevette, the TV, the dog, and my young daughter Amanda, and I headed to new challenges. I joined the Mount Vic branch of the Labour Party, and I was immediately made the secretary. That's what happens in the Labour Party. It was there that I met the formidable Kath Kelly and her husband Pat. I also met Helen Kelly. She became my babysitter. And one of the sadness for me is that I leave this place and Helen Kelly is not sitting here with us. I worked on Fran Wild's campaign, and it was with her encouragement, along with Helen Clark, that I put my name in for the 1984 election. The party had decided that we needed more women in Parliament because we were sick of being the tea ladies, Mr. Joyce. We wanted to make policy and we wanted to make decisions. Before the 1984 election, women made up 8% of Parliament, 8%. It increased to 15%, the biggest increase ever. 33 years on, it is now 31%. That is not good enough. All political parties need to commit to making this place truly a House of Representatives. I supported MMP because I saw it as a way to achieve diversity and fairness in our voting system. And it has changed the makeup of this House, but we've still got a long way to go. President Jim Anderson selected me for the seat of Horowhenua, but I never expected to win. I called myself the accidental MP. We'd never held that seat before, and I was swept in on the popularity of David Lange with a majority of 447. We put together a fantastic campaign with 1 month to do it in, after the calling of the Schnaps election for the 14th of July, Bastille Day, and the result was a political revolution. The campaign was short, it was sharp, and it was furious. And it was led by my longtime friend and campaign manager for all but one of my 11 campaigns, Lloyd Falk and his wife Maria. Lloyd, who is larger than life, was my Chief of Staff for 9 years, and Maria, my electorate secretary. I owe them so much. It was during that campaign that I met the 8-year-old Darren Hughes. He was Lloyd's neighbour, and yes, he was already a political junkie delivering my pamphlets. He will deny this, but both he and his brother Bryce curtsied when they first met David Lange. Darren is one of the most talented people I have ever met, and this House is the poorer for him not being here. They used to say the softest thing about Anne Herkis was her teeth. But she was the person that gave me my first break in Parliament after the 1984 election. She put me on her working party to establish the first ever Ministry of Women's Affairs, and she made me chair of the Social Welfare Select Committee. I was a real novice, up against the wily old fox Ven Young, who was the former minister, and he gave me a real lesson in the art of politics. I quickly learnt that you had to hold your nerve if you were going to survive in this place. I was also put on the Finance and Expenditure Committee. I was the only woman, and I was scared stiff because sitting opposite me was a lineup of heavy-hitting former ministers led by Rob Muldoon. I didn't open my mouth for 6 weeks. After a while, I got enough courage to ask a question, and I can't remember what it was, but I can still see Muldoon fixing me with that stare and saying, "Who's she?" I quickly learnt that you need a sense of humour if you're going to survive in this place.
Annette King taking her valedictory speech live as we go into the 6 o'clock news. Labour's longest serving MP in Parliament, former Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, former Minister of Health, saying farewell.